Well, thank you guys for joining us today. We are here at Pearl Road in Biddulph, and many of you folks know small engine repair. But here's why it's important. We're going to go ahead go inside and talk to Sam about what he's done with this small business and how he's creating content and has taken it to TikTok famous. So if you guys know Old Brooklyn, there's Biddulph, Pearl Road, and right across the street is a cemetery. But we're gonna go right on in here.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
I'll give you a quick shake here and drop on down here. Thanks for having us here tonight.
No problem.
We already have people jumping on here.
Yeah? Whole bunch, huh?
Yeah, already jumping in.
Good.
So, guys, we appreciate you joining us. We've had a lot of great guests.
Yeah, I've been watching over the times, and it's taken off, man. What made you think of doing this?
It's kind of crazy because it was 7 years ago. We're 350-ish
It's been 7 years now?
7 years.
Wow.
7 years, and my wife had committed to Tuesdays at the Baldwin Wallace College singing. So I had my Tuesdays available for. I knew it was going to be at least like 9 months. I'm like, let's call some friends together and let's go live and see what happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've been watching. I won a couple of your things, and I gave them to, because I thought it would benefit other people more, so I gave it to them. Remember? I won the one tutorial thing for art or something.
Oh, yeah,
and
exactly.
I gave it to, what was her name?
I forgot who you passed it forward to.
She was on Face Off, right? Jill.
Jill Bergner.
Jill, yeah, I gave it to Jill. Because I could tell that she was into that, and if she's into it, I'd rather give it to somebody that could enjoy it more, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think the last few interviews we had, we had 12,000 views.
Wow.
Over the past few weeks. And we were actually just down at one of your neighbors, down at the Miscreant the Muse, down the street a few weeks ago. But we appreciate you guys joining us today. Now, you might say, what are you guys doing at a small engine repair shop? And we're going to answer that question, but what's going to really pick your interest is what Sam has done creatively to take this to a multi-million viewer audience out on the social platform. And that's really what I want to dig into.
But not just that, but how fast I did it, like overnight pretty much. It's been 4 months and boom.
So buckle up, guys. We are not giving away anything today because we gave the Helen Welsh tickets away. We went live a couple weeks ago, gave it away on a Friday. But if you share this video, there's a share button in the bottom left-hand side of your screen. It's usually an arrow. And when you press that arrow, Facebook will prompt you as to what to do next. You can share it to an individual. You could share it to your friends list. You could share it to a group out on Facebook. But when you share, we know it. And we're going to put your name in a drawing. And if your name is drawn next Tuesday, you're going to get something. What is it?
Yeah, so I got it right here.
Yeah.
Pretty much a gift certificate for a free lawnmower tune-up, good for the 2024. And seeing that this year is almost over, 2025 as well. It's like $120 gift. So they could bring it in and say, hey, I got this, I want it. My lawnmower's not working, or I just want it tuned up so it runs like it's brand new again. And we'll do an oil change the air filter, sharpen and balance the blade, put a new spark plug in there, all the maintenance. Make sure it's all working properly and ready to get cutting.
Yeah. And we're going to be talking specifically about some small engine questions, because I know there's going to be some folks out here that have those questions.
Yeah.
And but let's go back. Let's go back just, and thank you for sharing this as well. We met. We were just talking about it a few minutes ago. It's been over a decade, probably like 11 or 12 years since we first met. There's a lot of people in our audience who
that are from that group, that circle that we came from. So, and then there's some that know us individually, separately, that, you know, that I didn't know they knew you until I saw them commenting on Europe, and I'm like,
how do we know each other?
Yeah, it's great. So
for those of you who may take a guess, we'll give some folks the opportunity to guess as to where we may have first worked together, first met. We'll give them a chance to guess, and then we'll reveal where that's at.
I'm going to lock this so nobody comes in.
We are closed. Good. So again, guys, if you share this, we're going to put your name in the drawing. Next week, we're going to draw the winner. If your name is drawn, we're going to snail mail this to you. Mm-hmm. And you could bring your mower down here and get it all ready for winter. But let me start with this question, and it's going to be completely small engine.
Yeah,
it's the fall. It's September of 2024. It's not quite cooling down, but the autumn breeze is kind of happening. Mm-hmm. People are kind of gearing down. They're starting to figure out like where they're gonna put things away, winterize, put away their mowers and their small engines. What should we tell our friends? What should we be doing to prepare our mowers to put away for the winter?
So there's actually a couple things that you can do. One, I don't recommend, they recommend it, but I don't recommend it, is use fuel stabilizer, okay? The thing with that is, yes, it works, but if you don't use it properly, it won't work. And it'll turn into jelly, and then it'll clog up your carburetor. So what I would recommend myself is drain the gas out completely, okay? On every lawnmower, there's a carburetor. And on the bottom of that carburetor, 9 times out of 10, it's a 10 millimeter bolt. You use that 10 millimeter bolt, you unscrew it just a little bit, and the rest of the gas that's left in the bowl will drain out onto a rag or a little cup or something, and therefore it's not holding bad gas all winter long, you know? This way, when you go to start it, you could just tighten it up a little bit, put some fresh gas in there, and it'll pull up and it'll start right away.
So part of the issue is that we probably run our mowers down and we think it's empty, but there's old gas sitting in those
lines and in the bowl. There's always some in there. And 90% of the time, when people bring it in, it's a carburetor. Okay, so we're going to get into the TikTok, and if you watch the videos, 90% of the time, it's the carburetor needs cleaned. It's always the carburetor. That's the common. There's 2 common things that people say. Yeah. It's the carburetor, or it ain't got no gas in it. But that's the main thing, and that's most of the time what's wrong.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that, because you work with engines, right? And so take us, because you just didn't figure out how to fix engines overnight, right? This is from years of working with.
Okay, so what led me here is I have a landscaping business for the last 6 years. I have a landscaping business, and it's either send it off and wait forever for places to fix it, or fix it myself so I can get to using it. Cutting grass, making cash. Hand in hand. So I just forced myself to learn, watched videos, and gave myself the knowledge and learned how to do it, and then. And now I'm spreading that knowledge on to others. Yeah. So
I know that you've been doing landscaping, some high-end landscaping. I see some of your work. I'm like, man, I didn't know Sam could do all that. And so great work. But I've got some little gray hair, and we age. So
I've got a couple.
You got a couple?
I got a couple.
Is this part of a bigger evolution in kind of your career?
Yes. So what I'm looking to emerge and do is I want to get somebody to run my landscaping crew for me. Therefore, I'm getting older. I don't want to be out there in the field doing it all the time, breaking my back. I would rather be stationed somewhere and work at my own pace, and then do, I still want to help people. Yeah. I like helping people. That's why I did the landscaping. I can help it and then I could fix people's stuff and I can help them. You know what I mean? So that's what I like to do. And that's why I also, started a TikTok so I could help people. Sometimes it's funny, ha ha ha, on there. I do things to amuse people, of course, and to get their attention. But then there's actual learning stuff that people can learn and do themselves. I get messages all the time. Thank you so much. Because of watching your videos, I don't have to spend $200. I fixed it myself,
Yeah.
So
for those of you who do not have a TikTok account, TikTok is I'm sure you've heard of it, right? It's a great platform. And I love that push algorithm that TikTok provides, right? And so you don't have to connect with 1 million people.
No.
Your stuff could, but take us there. So, well, you know what? Let me backtrack because I don't want to go too far. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Landscaping. You open up the shop. Somewhere along the line, you decide to film. Maybe that's for the film what it is that you're doing.
Yeah. Yep. I was just like, I don't know. I had a TikTok before. I've had it for like 4 years.
Yeah.
It does okay. I had like 7,000 followers, and I was like, oh yeah, I got a lot, And then I was like, well, they like watching me do that, making silver stuff. I go, I wonder if they'll like watching this. I did 2-3 videos, and then one day I go to sleep, and I wake up, and it said I had like 1.4 million notifications. I was like, what? What's wrong with my phone? I thought it was glitching, I thought something was wrong. And then I thought it was Facebook or something, so I opened up my Facebook, nothing on there. I was like, what's going on? And I opened up TikTok, and the whole bottom of the screen, notifications, all kinds of stuff. I was like, what's this? I was nervous. I was like, I didn't expect that at all. And I was like, oh my God, I went from having 200 followers when I first started in a couple days up to like 40,000 followers. I was like, man, that's a lot.
So for those of you who don't have a TikTok account, I have one. It allows content creators to put out, shorts and put out, short films. And if there's a demand, whatever that demand is, it can go to, like in your case, 1 million people.
It draws over quick. They just pull it in. And then they just said, now I'm getting people contacting me. And, I don't put out, I try to keep my TikTok business separate from this business. You know what I mean? And there's people doing research to find me, and they're like, we want you to fix ours. So they're actually bringing stuff in, finding me, and having me fix it just so they could see their stuff on TikTok being fixed.
And that's crazy, but we see it, a lot. And so let me see if I get this right. So you'll got people who will drive their mower, their chainsaw, something to you so that they could see their machine up on the table getting fixed.
Yep. They don't care what the price is. I'm fair with everybody. They don't care. They don't even ask the price. They just say, are you going to put it on TikTok? I say, well, if that's a request you want me to do, sure. Yeah. I go, but I try to tell them, and I tell all of them, just know the difference between what's real and what's not. Yes, I have a business I have to run. I go, but at the same time, there's some things that I have to do on there to keep people's engagement, keep them attending it. So
we talked before that Andrea, who folks might also know as the warden's widow, gave you a little bit of advice.
She's the one that jump started me. I was like, I was talking to her one day, and I was like, what do I got to do? What do I got to do? And I thought it was, because I look at hers and I see like millions of followers, and I'm like, I want that. And she's pretty much like, no, you don't want that. You want the views. You don't want the followers. You want the followers, but you don't want, you know what I mean? Like
the views are what is what chings up, right?
Yeah. So I'm like, so what do I got to do? And she's like, just be consistent. Just be consistent. Post every day around the same time. Just be consistent. So I started doing that, and it just started growing more and more. And then I was like, all right, well, I don't want to bother her all the time, message her, hey, what do I do now? So I started doing research, and then I started learning tricks, and then I started learning hashtags, and then how I word it. And I have to say things in the video that matches what I say in the caption. And then that's what grabs the, categorizes and puts it where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
So at the top, if you look, it'll say find related content. You know, you don't want that. You want it to say lawnmowers or leaf blowers, you know, so TikTok knows where to put your video.
Yeah.
Or it won't know.
And one of the things that I've heard from you, from Andrea, from, you know, many of our other content creators is that you want to be so general, because I think the thought is, if I make it so general, I'll get a bunch of views. Like, you want to find your audience.
Focus point and focus on
your
them.
audience and focus on them.
Yep.
And Small Engine Repair Shop hits, you know, 1 million views. Now, you have 3 videos that are pinned.
5.
You got 5?
I got 5, but they only allow you to do 3.
Oh.
I've got 5 over 1 million views, but they only allow you to
pin 3.
Yeah.
5 over that's the population of some countries.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Think about
That's a lot. And when you are a content creator on there, you get insights where you're allowed to see what region is watching your videos, and there's a lot of people that are in different regions that are like, you know, hey, we want to, you know, because there's TikTok Shop, and they're like, hey, we want to purchase this also, but we don't see it. And that's because they don't ship to that region. So they won't see the link that I'm talking about, you know? So.
Yeah. And I want to go there, but tell us a little bit about that data. Is it mostly, does this get put, I mean, it certainly get pushed out here in the States.
Yeah.
Is there other countries that
Oh, United Kingdom. I mean, there's all, like.
People over the world.
Yes, everywhere. I'm like, I can't believe somebody, you know, is watching it from there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. I'm sure they've got lawnmowers.
Yeah.
You know?
It's my, and first of all, I thought you had 3 that were over 1 million. You have 5 over 1 million. It just
5.
allows you to just pin those 3. And
Only 3. It only allows you to pin 3. So I try to pin which ones have the most attraction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I've got one that's at like 2.5 million now. And just me repairing a weed whacker, you know? So
I think there's something to be learned about having the confidence, maybe is the right word, or the courage to just say, I'm just going to post what I'm doing. Maybe there's an audience for it.
Yep. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's my, most of the TikToks that I've seen shows your hands.
Yeah.
And the machine.
Yep.
It's not it's not like we're doing here where you're filming from afar.
Right.
Most of it is like a first person you're
Sight
working on.
They want to see what you're doing. They don't care what you look like. They want to know what you're doing and how am I going to do this? So that's why, you know, when I was looking up things to fix for myself, it would annoy me when they would go on with this big old story and keep showing everything except for what I'm there to see. If the caption says how to fix a carburetor on a Toro, then show me how to fix it. Stop giving me a big runaround. So that's why I try to start dead straight to what I'm doing, how I'm doing, and get to the point, you know?
And I'll tell you, I mean, it seems counterproductive that somebody who runs a small engine repair shop would show people how to fix their engines themselves.
I like helping people.
Yeah.
And that's why I started doing landscaping. I like to help people. That's why I'm doing this. I like to help people. So if I'm going to do a TikTok, I'm going to show them and help them, you know?
All the way down to the details and say, okay, here's where the screws are. Here's how to remove the casing.
This is the size. This is what you're going to need. This is what you do.
Yeah.
This is where you get the stuff to do it if you need it.
Yeah. And man, it's selfless, but the unexpected or the giving resulted in unexpected getting.
Exactly.
Right?
So yes, I might. Who knows? There's so many people out there.
Yeah.
I might lose some business because I'm showing them how to do it themselves. But I'm a firm believer what goes around comes around. You know, I am doing decent off the videos, so why not give back? You know?
Yeah. Just recently, the last few days, you went and picked up a mower of somebody, right? To talk about giving back, right?
Yeah.
So tell us the story behind that, because it intrigues me, because I saw like part 1 out on TikTok.
I did part 2 today.
Okay.
I dropped it off. So I went to the lady's house yesterday, day before yesterday, picked up her lawnmower. When I get there, I look at it, and she called me to fix a cable. Looking at the mower, I know it needed more than that. The air filter was so clogged up. It was so dirty. I could tell by looking at it that the oil was going to be pretty bad in there. I just knew that it needed more help than what she was wanting to do. And then after talking to her, you know, as a salesman and a business owner, I say, okay, I'm going to go fix this, but while I have it, do you want an oil change? Do you want an air filter? Do you want the blade sharpened? I asked her these things, and she's like, I do need it, but I can't afford it. She's like, I'm trying to get a roof done on my house from the last storm that we just had with the tornadoes and stuff. She goes, but my insurance company won't help me with that. So I'm like, man. So I'm like, all right, well, then how about this? I'll put it on and I'll throw an air filter because it definitely needs one, you know? 3 important things that every lawnmower needs, and that's air and fuel, you know, and spark. Them are 3 important things that you need. So if those 3 things are bad, you know, you get. So anyway, so I get the lawnmower here, and I started filming the TikTok of how to replace the drive cable on a lawnmower. And then I was just like, I'm going to do this for free. I was like, I got the part over there. It cost me $11. I said, I'm going to do this for free. And then so I look at the camera and I go, pay attention. I want you guys to like this video. I want you guys to share this video. I want you to save it. I want you to do whatever, because I'm giving this lady, you know, I told them what she needed. And I interacted with them. It got like 60,000 likes, and, you know.
Yeah.
So to be fair, I'll probably get around $30, $40 for that video. You know what I mean? Which is going to pay for the parts, you know? Okay. And then I made it into a part 2, which today I call her on the phone and I'm like, hey, you know,
get your mower.
Right. And then I go, I did this, and then I did this, and I did this. And you can just hear in her voice starting to tremble and break up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was waiting for her to say, well, I didn't want all that. I can't afford to pay you for all that, you know? And before I let her say that, I was just like, and we're going to do it for free. And she goes, huh? I was like, yeah, we're going to do it for free. And she goes, okay, well, you could drop it off at my house. I'll come up later on after work and pay you for what we agreed about. I said, no. I said, I'm doing it all for free. And she goes, oh my God. You know, so.
Take us to the concept of getting paid for that video, right? So, so you're producing videos out of TikTok.
Yeah.
You have 5 of them that are well over 1 million. You got some of them that are, 2.5 million. Some you've got, let's call it 7, 8 million views on just 5 videos.
Right.
How does that translate to payment?
Okay, so just because it's a large amount doesn't mean that it is all counted for. So there is a certain selective amount of views that you get paid for. They're called GPMs or something. You only get paid for new views, basically. You know what I mean? People that engage and watch it longer periods of time and hit like, and it all takes an effect. So yeah, I've got 2.5 million views on one, but I'm only going to get paid for 1 million views of those things,
Right.
And then they'll break it down to where I'll get 75 cents per 1,000 views. You know what I mean? So you gotta, how many thousands are in a million, times that by 0.75, and that's about what I get. So that video that I got 2.5 million, I've got probably $1,200 for that video. So when you do stuff like that, and then you're giving back to people, it's coming right back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that one that I did yesterday and today, I'll probably end up generating around $60 to $70, and that's about what I would have charged that lady anyways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's good to give.
Smart. I want to come back to that, but I want to also encourage you guys to share. If you've joined this video and you weren't here right at the beginning, if you hit that share button at the very bottom, there's an arrow bottom left of your Facebook screen. You share it. If you share it to an individual, to your friends list, or to a group, we know it. And then next week, we're going to draw a name out of that, and you'll get your mower. And I would imagine that if you don't have a mower and you need a
snowblower
or something, right? Something else isn't working. It's upside down. And then you can use that too. And maybe your machine will become TikTok famous as well.
Yeah,
but $120 value, and but you're a generous giver. You talked before about TikTok Shop, so you get compensated based upon views, right? Because it's attracting people over to TikTok. But then there's TikTok Shop. TikTok Shop.
Yes.
Tell us about TikTok Shop.
So let's use this as a reference because this is one of the things that I got from them. So this is a box. It's not in here, but this is a jumper box, okay, for cars. Mm-hmm. So wintertime's coming, all right? What happens in the wintertime? Yeah. Most car batteries die, right, because of the cold, right? So it is good to have one of these in your car because when you break down, what are you going to call AAA and wait 2 hours in the cold? You know, you need something to jump your battery and get going, right? So they send me this for free, okay? And this is, I don't know, I think $120. They send it to me for free. I make a video of this, tell people how good it is. If it's good, I do real reviews. If it's good, it's good. If it's garbage, hey, I'm sorry, it's my review, like it or not, you know? So I'll tell them if it's good or not, if I like it, if I stand by the product. And if they click that link on my page of the video that I do, that you get off a TikTok Shop. Yep. And I would imagine in addition to that, you get a whole bunch of stuff. You're like, I've got lawnmowers for free. I've got power washers for free. I've got generators for free. I've got power banks for free. Goes on. Just goes on. Goes on. Well, I know that your brains are probably churning as to, the concept, right? The concept of just filming what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And if there's an audience, it can open up a whole new opportunity. I'm not asking for specifics, but I'm looking for just high level generalities. Does TikTok do you make almost as much on TikTok as you do fixing stuff? In other words, sharing the information, it's hit or miss. It's hit or miss. Sometimes there's videos where I'll make $200-300 on. So what I like to do is I look at it this way, I'm able to give my customers a price break, because I always post a video before the customer picks up the equipment. You know what I mean? So I can see what it's producing and what level it's at. Yeah. And if it's $100 job for a customer and they come in and I tell them on the phone that it's going to be $100. But when they come in, I'll say, well, your bill's only $40 or $50. And they're like, what? Why? Well, I did a video on TikTok and it did decent. So it's going to pay a portion of your bill. Yeah. So I'm saving customers money that way also, I love it. Are you going to would it be too forward for us to take a look at your shop here? No, come on. Because if you're a TikTok a viewer, I'll show you where the magic happens. Show us where the magic happens. All right, let's go this way. So we are in Old Brooklyn. It is, again, like mid-September 2024. Autumn is upon us. And I know there's a couple people who probably are still guessing where Sam and I first met, first got to know each other. Throw out those comments, and we'll reveal that here in a little bit. So all of this is mowers that I get from local scrappers or stuff that people bring in to me and donate to me. And what I do is I also save customers money by, like, say if they need a wheel, instead of paying $40 for a wheel, I can give them one for $10. You know what I mean? Pull a part off. If I could save them any money, any way, I try to. I give them the option. Do you want to use one? Do you want a new one?
So these are scrappers parts. You're like, yeah, these are not worth fixing, but I can
Pick and
grab a
pull
bunch
from
of,
them.
pick and pull.
Yep. Just like that car place, pull apart, you know? So I'll get it down to where there isn't much salvageable on there, and then I'll call a local scrapper and say, hey, come take this away. You can have it. You know what I mean? So then I make them a few bucks.
If somebody has, instead of pushing an old lawnmower, because we're coming to the end of the year, if anybody has an old lawnmower, what's the best way? Are you interested, or are you like, no?
Not right now, because I collect them in the middle of the year, beginning of the year, so I could pull them out throughout the end of the year. But right now, a lot of these within the next month are going to be stripped of the most common parts that I know, and then they're going to be gone.
You're going to scrap the rest.
Yeah, and then snow blowers will start coming. You know, so then we'll do that. But so a lot of things with tags on it. That's how I remember whose belongs to who. They're repairs that I have to do. We'll come in this way, and this is where I'm currently working on this one right now, and it's just set up, you know, just like I got my tripod here for my phone, so I could sit here and they could see me, and then I got my lights here, and then gimbals and, you know, all kinds of stuff. This is my main work area.
So if somebody were to watch a TikTok video, if you've never seen it, right? It's your hands working on it.
Yep.
And you're showing exactly.
This is what you'll see right here, and I'll explain what it is, what it does, how to put it. That's pretty much it.
So is this a backpack?
Echo backpack leaf blower. Customer brought it in and said that the carburetor wasn't working, so I ripped the old carburetor off. I got a new one, and I'm in the middle of putting it on there. So, but instead of just putting it on there, I'm not going to use the old lines, the old fuel filter. I'm going to do all new. You know, this way it's all new, so it runs and functions properly, so they don't have another problem with it, you know?
You said that the top 3 things that come in here, right? So when a machine comes in, what are the top 3 things you got to look at again?
So first thing I do is I look at the fuel and make sure, this is a 2-cycle, I make sure it has the proper fuel and what it looks like, and make sure it looks good, right? Then I make sure the lines are good and the carburetor's good, right? And then the spark's good. As long as you got those 3 things going properly so the air can come through, normally you're fine.
Gas, spark, and air.
Yep.
In that order.
Yep. Most common thing with all small engines.
One of my favorite lines of all time is the movie Sling Blade.
Yeah.
Right? When small engine repair shop, right? And he goes in there and he's like, ain't got no gas in it.
My stepdad actually sounds like that. I'm gonna turn this fan off.
All right.
But my stepdad actually he sounds like I ain't got no gas in it. Oop. So but yeah, so what I do over here, this is a cleaning area, and sometimes, not all the time, sometimes I can break down a carburetor and throw it in this ultrasonic cleaner.
Yeah, what is that?
It's ultrasonic cleaner. It does it through vibrations and waves, and it breaks down particles and gets it off of the metal where it can be cleaned, you know? So I'll try my best to save it and clean it before I replace it, because it's always best to keep the original parts, you know? And if I could save it, I save the customer money, and I feel more accomplished, you know, when I save something than instead of just replacing it, you know?
Yeah.
But that's what I try to do with that station. And then, you know, I've got blade sharpener station, part station over there. I got a winch when I'm doing ride-on mowers and stuff, and I got to lift them up. I've got an electric winch there that I can use to lift up. Yeah.
And people will. What's the furthest anybody has driven to drop off an engine so that their engine might be fixed on TikTok?
About an hour and a half away, I had somebody come in. They're like, yeah, we drove like an hour. I think it was like an hour and a half or hour 20 minutes. So we can bring it to you. So can you please put it on TikTok? Oh yeah, sure. If that's what you want, buddy. I'll put it there.
Yeah, I love watching your content, and there's a few things that strike me. One is that you use I don't know if I will use the word, kind of an endearing term, that is that Let's spray some go-go juice.
Go-go juice. Yeah.
Go-go juice. What is go-go juice? And
everybody's like, what is go-go juice? Everybody wants to know what go-go juice is. So go-go juice is just starting fluid. That's all go-go juice is. I use this type of starting fluid, and there's another kind that I use. I'm actually out of it, but I don't show people that it says starting fluid. I just say go-go juice because you spray a little bit in there, and it's going to force it to go. You know what I mean? So I call it go-go juice. Everybody's like, "What's go-go juice?" That's
your terminology, and we love it. The fact
I mean, you think about it. You spray it, and it goes.
It goes.
Go-go juice.
Yeah.
So.
I also like that when we're watching your content, it's you're talking to somebody who might have very little or no knowledge. You're just like, okay, here's where you start. Here's what you do, and so you walk us through.
I try to do how I do my videos. I try to do it as I'm talking one-on-one. I don't do it like I'm talking to a big crowd of people.
Yeah,
I try to do it like as if my son is standing here and I'm trying to show him and tell him, this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. You know, and you know, people say, oh, you didn't do it I would have did this first and I would have did that first. Show me a rule book. Show me a rule book where you have to go in this order. You know, all of these things need to be checked. What does it matter what order you check it, as long as you check it?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
the other thing that I like is in addition to kind of just bringing it down to a new level of knowledge on small engines, you often add some nice comedy into it.
Humor. Keep them entertained, you know?
Tell me, because I'll tell you if it doesn't jump out, tell me some of your
Let me guess.
Yes. Take a guess.
Let me throw this on the table.
Yep.
Is that the one you're talking about?
Throw it on the table.
No, I got so much backlash for that. And I had a lawnmower that was actually it's right here. I had this lawnmower right here, this little small one here. And I said a customer brought it in and said it won't start. So I'm starting and I'm pulling it, doing my thing that I normally do before I put it on the table. And I say, all right, well, let's throw it on the table. I literally picked it up and I threw it. The internet went crazy. They went nuts. They're like, I would never bring, oh my God, blah, blah. I'm like, guys, calm down. Read the caption. It says, not a customer. It's for entertainment purpose only, you know? If I can't entertain you and show you, then what's the point? You know, it's like... It was great. I got some threatening messages over
Did you overthrowing a lawnmower?
Oh, yeah. I had to make a video and say, hey, guys, know the difference. You know, yes, some stuff is knowledgeable to learn. I go, but I still got to keep you entertained and keep you here and keep you coming back to see more, you know? So I got to do some comedy into it with, you know.
Yeah. I also, in addition to throwing it on the table, I also like, there was I think it was a chainsaw.
The old one.
You had a chainsaw on the table.
Yes, that was a home light. Is that the one you're talking about from Texas Chainsaw?
No, but tell us about that one. Okay. Then I'm going to tell you the one that I'm
So I had a customer come in. I tried to buy it off of him. He wouldn't sell it to me. So I had a lawnmower that I had to fix for a customer, and he goes, "Well, since you're here, can you fix this this chainsaw I got from my father-in-law?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I get it, and I came from horror movies. We all have that dark past where we enjoyed that, you know? And as soon as I saw the saw, I'm like, that's the saw they use from Texas Chainsaw. You know what I mean? I was like, that's the flathead home light chainsaw that they used. And I was like, yes, I'll fix that. And then I got it, and I did a video on my TikTok of it, and I didn't charge the guy only because I wanted to kind of butter him up and be like, hey, you know, if you want to sell this, I'll buy it, you know? And he didn't understand the whole thing. And he goes, I can't, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, all right, well, I'm a horror fan, and that is from Texas Chainsaw. You know, that's the same model, same make. So what are you talking about? Which one?
I was talking about there was you start saying, trying to figure out what's going on with this. It was a toy chainsaw.
Oh, they're hanging up in the shop.
Is that right?
Yeah, so
toy chainsaw was hilarious.
Yeah, and a lot of people were confused. They're like, I've never seen that model. I'm not, man, what? And then they're like, wait a minute, that's a toy.
It took me like, I don't know, like 20, 30 seconds.
So I did the chainsaw, I did a lawnmower, and I did a leaf blower, and I bought them for decoration for inside the shop, you know?
Yeah.
And And I was like, well, let me do a video on these, you know. And then people was like, what's going on? They're like, I'm confused about this. So I thought that was funny. It was humor.
Well, I am not wearing my glasses, and so I have not been tracking. There's been questions and people joining and flipping through. We encourage you guys, whether you're watching it live or the recorded, put your comments in, because both Sam and I will see those. We'll provide
comment.
some information. We'll comment on that. What is next for Sam White? Rest of this year, next year. Do you have any plans, or are you just going where the wind blows?
I'm just going where the wind blows. I'm gonna follow this as long as I can, and get ready for wintertime. You know, start working on those. That's the good thing about this. You never know what's going to come in the door to fix. You know, you could tell when it's starting to transition over. So I was doing a lot of lawnmowers and a lot of lawnmowers at first, and then now it's starting to be leaf blowers, wood chippers, and yard vacuums. So you could tell that they're getting their stuff out and getting ready for the equipment that they use, you know?
Next season.
Right. So that stuff's slowly starting to come in. I'm slowly getting a few snow blowers to come in, leaf vacuums and leaf blowers and wood chippers.
Are we going to start to see some of those show up on the table in your in Small Engine Repair on TikTok?
So another thing that the Warden's Widow taught me was giraffes. You know, that's important. And so I have a bunch of giraffes in my TikTok that a lot of this stuff that you see here, I've already did. I haven't posted a video yet because the next couple days I'm going to be busy doing my landscaping. So I still have to put content for this. So now I have, that's one of the things that she taught me that I'm grateful for, that, you know, there's several things. And I know if I could send her a message, she'll respond, but I don't want to feel like, you know, bugging her all the time, you know.
That's a really good point. And so if for those who are not content creators, right, you're getting out there, you're creating content, it's ready to go. It's sitting out there in the draft where you're like, I need a video for Monday at 3 o'clock. Push it, and you move it from draft to content, and out it goes.
Yep. And then I don't have to, you know, I've got about a week or two worth of videos already saved up that if I need to take a relaxing break, I can, and you know, take my time to make the videos. This way, I'm not rushing to make a video and post it real quick, so I get better quality, better, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, Sam, we appreciate you bringing us back here where the magic happens.
Thank you.
Giving us, you know, not only a really generous gift for the shares, but also sharing your knowledge, first of all, for content creation, but just in general about small engines, what you do. For those of you who haven't watched, if you go back to the beginning, Sam starts off by telling us how we should store our engines over the winter, which is an important thing. So drag yourself back to the beginning and watch that. And we appreciate you guys joining us today. We will see you next week. Keep the questions coming, because Sam can jump in and answer those here during the week. And we appreciate, Sam, you sharing us with us, and then also for sharing your knowledge. Thank you guys for sharing. We'll see you next week.